Hello everybody and welcome to a Koopafantasy fantasy football video. I made a few of these videos last year, mostly starting videos, ended up quitting halfway through the season because I was really busy with school and all that. But I am back this year and I promise I will be making videos throughout the off season until we get going, and I will be making videos all through the real season, sit starts and things like that. So I hope you enjoy this video and let's get right into it. This video is a bit of a mixed bag. There's some player updates. I got about 7 or 8 players that I've highlighted here, some fantasy relevant players, and some updates on their situations. First, I'm going to go over a couple of QBs. We got Peyton Manning. Apparently, he's already looking really good in the offseason OTAs for the Denver Broncos. So, obviously, he's pretty far down the draft boards right now in comparison to where he usually is. But I can easily see him slipping up and up and up as we get closer to the season. Apparently, his arm looks great. He's got tons of weapons in Denver with Thomas and Decker. And he's got a couple of great tight ends in Tammy and Joel Dreesen, who's a big boy. And moving on to Miami Dolphins QB situation, Matt Moore is looking like the current consensus starter for the Dolphins coming into this season. He's going to have to battle Dave Garrard, who's a former Pro Bowler, so keep your ears to the ground on that one. But it's looking pretty much a guarantee that Matt Moore is going to be the starter at the beginning of the season. And the only way I see Tannehill getting involved this year is if the Dolphins straight up blow the season and they just get desperate and throw Tannehill in there hoping he can save them. But unless that happens, which I doubt, it's going to be Matt Moore and maybe some Dave Garrard. The Cleveland Browns situation, it looks like Brandon Weeden is already being named the starter for the season. It's not really official, but almost everyone I read and talk to thinks that it's going to be Brandon Weeden starting the season. He looks like the rookie QB of the future for them. If you just Google Brandon Weeden and click on the news tab in Google, and you'll just see countless articles talking about this kid and all the potential and skills he has. So it looks like Brandon Weeden could be a bit of a sleeper this year as a backup QB number 2. So keep your eye on him as a pickup later in drafts. And then finally the Arizona quarterback situation between Kevin Kolb and John Skelton. Right now they're rumored to be about 50-50. I actually just recently listened to a podcast by the guys at CBS Sports, a great group of experts and fantasy guys there. And a couple of them believe that John Skelton is going to end up being the guy who starts the season. They think he's got the more aggressive nature. He throws more often to Larry Fitzgerald. He throws to me when he still is covered, which isn't a bad thing because there's a little saying, Larry Fitzgerald is always open as long as you throw a foot above his head. Alright, so that's about it for quarterback situation. Let's move on to our lone running back news, which is Adrian Peterson. And according to recent reports, Adrian Peterson is currently 50-50 as well to start the season. Many experts believe there's a good chance he'll be placed on the physically unable to perform list for the first couple games this season. I believe that keeps you out 6 games, and then he'll be back healthy after that. So obviously that's going to keep his fantasy value down this year, and probably for the first time in a long time he will be outside the first couple of rounds. But we're going to have to wait to find out because he's apparently a superhuman and already running uphill, running on sand. So we're going to have to check out, and for all we know, he may be ahead of that rehab curve and be ready for the season, for all we know. So definitely have to check out Adrian Peterson. Moving on to wide receivers, just got a couple here. Andre Johnson underwent surgery on his knee once again. A lot of people are worried about that going into the coming season. Seeing as how he was down almost all of last season with a knee injury, believe me, I know. I drafted him first round in my my main draft, the one I care the most about. So I know exactly what happened to him. But he's still one of the elite wide receivers in the league, and he's probably number 2 in terms of talent behind Calvin Johnson, and he's not far behind. The only wide receiver I would consider bumping ahead of Andre because of this news is Larry Fitzgerald. So to me, the number 1, 2, and 3 were Calvin, Andre, and then Fitzy. But I could see it being rearranged to Calvin, Fitzy, Johnson because of the injury and the surgery. But other than that, Andre Johnson is still an elite level talent in this league and someone I would not want to really skip on if he drops me in the draft. Hakeem Nicks has a broken bone in his foot. It happened about 2 weeks ago, so you probably already heard about it. People are rethinking his fantasy value, but he's still a supremely talented wide receiver, still very young, and he has already come out and stated he'll be ready for game 1. Coach Coughlin has kind of stated the same similar things. So I don't think Nicks is going to be taking too much of a hit with this. I would still be happy to draft him in round 2 or whatever in a 12-team league I think Nix is going to be a great wide receiver. He may be a little bit slow the first couple weeks, but I think he's going to be great towards the end of the season when you really need him. Finally, Justin Blackmon, the rookie wide receiver for Jacksonville, was arrested for DUI in the second time in a rather short period. So people are questioning his work ethic and his personality. Despite being a supreme talent, behavioral issues can really impact your pro career. We've seen it plenty of times with other guys. There's rumors he may even be suspended by the NFL before he even gets a chance to step on the field. So that's going to be a huge hit on Justin Blackmon. And in a recent podcast, I think it was the same one with CBS Sports, one of the guys said he would rather take Titus Young from Detroit before Justin Blackmon. So there's a little idea of the value of Justin Blackmon according to the guys over at CBS Sports. And now finally at tight end, I'm only going to cover one guy, but it's Dallas Clark from Tampa Bay. And Dallas Clark has always been a consensus top 5 tight end when he was in Indy playing with Peyton Manning. The guy basically played like a wide receiver. He was an amazing tight end. But from what I can hear, in Tampa Bay at their off-season training camps or OTAs, he is looking pretty rough, a little out of shape, just not looking anywhere near the level he did in Indianapolis. Some people attribute that to the fact that Peyton Manning made him look better than he actually was. So there's a lot of hesitation on drafting Dallas Clark this year, and I've heard a few people who are just outright avoiding him and believe there are way better tight end options out there, especially if you're looking for your tight end number 1. So Dallas Clark, you may want to do some research on him because right now he's looking pretty rough. So that is all for my video for today, guys. I will be back soon going through my positional rankings. I'll probably just make a wide receiver video, a QB video, a running back video, a tight end video, and I also have them at my top 100 big board, which I'm thinking I will break up in maybe 2 parts, maybe 4 parts, depending on how long these videos take me to get through. I don't want to have a video any longer than like 7-8 minutes. To me, after that, you don't care to listen or watch anymore. So for anybody who is watching this video and stuck through the whole thing, I seriously appreciate it. I hope you guys come back and watch my future videos. And I hope you didn't find this whole thing pointless and a waste of your time. I am Koopafantasy. Follow me on Twitter at Blackie_Mike. You can just search Koopafantasy on Twitter to find me also. I love fantasy sports. I just got into fantasy baseball as well. So hit me up, message me, talk to me. Let's connect. Let's network, guys. Koopafantasy signing up.